Hey, hello. My name is Jeff Vogel. I am the president and founder of Spiderweb Software. That is a company mainly run by me and my radiant wife, Marianne, my business manager. And we started in 1994. We've been doing this for 31 years. We make retro, old school, turn-based role-playing games. And we're about to play for a while our newest game, which just came out very early this morning, Avernum 4 Greed and Glory, which is a title that we're really proud of and really excited about, and so far people seem to really like. And I'm going to be playing it for 2 hours. I'm very bad at playing my games. Um, but I'll do my best to hack my way through and try not to get killed. And you should, oh boy, I'm already getting attacked. So I'm going to do a little chatting about what's going on with the story of this game while absent-mindedly fighting all the monsters and trying not to get killed. I'm a ways into the game right now because I played a bit of it for Steam Next Fest as much as I was able to stream. And so what is this game? So Avernum is our very first series, which we started 31 years ago. It's our most popular series. It takes place in the gigantic underworld nation of Avernum. So by the way, while I'm doing this, please feel free to type questions into chat about Avernum, about writing a living having making a living as an indie developer, about what it was like selling computer games back in 1994. I love to chat. And one more thing, I don't have any right to ask people for any help. What I will say is this: if you would like to support us in any way, the best way you could do it, if you've played Avernum 4 and you like it, please leave a review on our Steam page. It's enormously helpful when people do that. It helps convince people that we're a real game and not a scam operation, and reviews convince Steam that it's a real game so that we get trading cards and all of the goodies that can motivate people to buy games. So if you have a spare minute and are feeling kind in your heart and like the game, please say so. Please leave a review, and that will really help us a lot. Okay, so Avernum, it's a nation underground. It was once a penal colony for the empire on the surface. And in the first three games, Avernum 1 through 3, it tells the story of Avernum fighting to regain its freedom and become a free nation. Avernum 4 is the beginning of the second Avernum trilogy, and so you can start the game at this point, no problem. I worked very hard to make sure you will understand what is going on. Wow, the game is being kind of stuttery on my end. I'm playing it on a very old PC, and this PC is starting to have issues. Please don't worry, the frame rate for the game is fine. My machine is not. Anywho, okay, so Avernum, giant underground nation, and in Avernum 4 Green and Glory, now that Avernum is free, people are flooding there looking for freedom, for wealth, for fame, to explore the deepest depths of the underworld and find wonders that have never been found before. And that is what you were here before. When you start the game, you're given you choose a goal which will sort of influence what you're trying to do as you work your way through the main story. Now here we are in Fort Monastery, which is where you start. This is way out and remote, and when you start the game, you found that what's been called the Sovereign Cease has been declared. That suddenly, out of nowhere, no one is allowed to explore. That you're supposed to stay in the fort and can't leave without permission because of something having to do with negotiations with an alien race of deep underground creatures called the Vonatai. That some people are familiar with this series know that these are very major characters in the series. If you don't know who they are, don't worry. The game goes into great detail about what they are. But the Captain Matos, the captain of Fort Monastery, said, "Okay, I'll tell you what. I will let you explore, but there's this bunch of pesky goblins nearby, and you have to get rid of them because they're acting weird." In the first stream, I went and fought the goblins and found underneath where I started the stream, they were guarding some sort of magical facility that is slowly filling the caves with toxic gas. And now that they're all dead, I'm coming back and I am speaking to Matos and finding out what's going on. Okay, so I'm turning it. It's a question. I killed the leader of the goblins. Captain Matos looks surprised and, for a sliver of a moment, impressed. Excellent! I like a soldier who follows orders. It'll be a lot easier to run Fort Monastery, for a while at least. I promised a reward I haven't forgotten, but first, I suspected Trixta had some plans. Did you learn anything about that? Trixta was the goblin chief. He had found some sort of laboratory. You described the lab. The captain listens carefully, then he grabs a pen and parchment. Tell me again, omit nothing. He is plainly disturbed. There were rows of metal tanks there. What was in them? There was a wall of magical barriers. That makes things difficult. If Avernum has wizards who can break them, none of them are here. So for this stream, our games have always been very text heavy. I started in '94 in an era where role-playing games were primarily told through text, and that's sort of the heritage that we keep alive here. So I'm not going to do a huge amount of text because text doesn't stream very well. Um, but I will be reading like the necessary parts. Something unpleasant. They slowly oozed green gas. Captain Manto shudders and completes his notes. Worrying. We need to get wizards from the tower immediately. This is valuable information. I thought that you had potential. My hunch was right. And now I can make real use of you. And me? I have a real reward for you. Freedom. I can let you out of here, free of the sovereign cease, free to travel. However, I need something from you. Your first journey must serve a purpose. Also, I suppose I should outfit you a little better. There's a special storeroom downstairs. I'll have it unlocked for you. I think some of the equipment inside will be helpful. Then your journey can begin. I need to send news of what you discovered. Also, I've been hearing some ugly rumors. I need them cleared up. Oh, good. I have a level. Soon training gets to happen. What is my next mission? The nearest large outpost to here is Fort Draco. It is a day's journey to the east. It's a much bigger and nicer fort than this one. They get proper equipment, that's for sure. I've been hearing some ugly rumors, mysterious attacks, problems with boats. Maybe it is connected to the tanks you found, maybe not. I want you to travel to Fort Draco, speak with someone, and find out what's really going on and tell me. Maybe Commander Anford is still in command there. If I ask, he will keep us informed. Will you do this for me? Okay, I do not want to do this. Are you sure? If you don't, you will be trapped here until the cease is lifted. This may take quite some time. Let me think about it. Fine, but think quickly. The matter may be urgent, and may are waiting for this opportunity. Okay, well, I'm just gonna tell you now that you kinda have to do it. So, what is my next mission? It will be done. He has you wait while he writes a letter. It is long and was drafted with a trembling hand. When it is completed and sealed with wax, he hands it to you. Take it east to Fort Draco with speed. Then he prepares two more letters. These are for you. A letter of passage. You'll be able to wander Avernum freely, ignoring the sovereign seas. And a land grant. You'll be able to claim a cave of your own when the treaty with the Vonatai is signed. So you see, you've only finished one adventure and you're already rich. What more can you hope for from a video game? See, your efforts have earned you much, and you have barely left this fort. Now go. Destiny awaits. I wish you smooth floors and quiet caves. Okay, now what? So let's see. First thing I'm going to do is train, and as I never tire of saying, I'm bad at my own games. So I'm going to hack my way through. Hopefully, I will not get total party killed. In times testing with this, the area I'm about to go through, I just got super massacred a whole bunch. But you know, that's okay. I'll manage. But I do want to train. So first, this is my first character. Right now, he's my melee tank guy. I think I wanted to increase. Let me check his inventory. I think okay, yeah, strength trading needed. So he doesn't have enough strength for this shield, but I want him to have a shield because he's my tank guy. So his strength is at 4. So I'm gonna. Why did that not? Okay, so I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna check. I should figure out strength training. So now he can use it. For some reason, even though it said 4, I think I know why that's happening. Little by little, I'm going to find just little bits of polish and oddness that I'll fix. Version 1.0 came out today. Version 1.0.1 will be out next week. Someone asked if I use the default party. So I use the default party. I like to do that for my testing because that's what most people are going to do the first time. Experienced players will look after themselves, but like more amateur players like me will use the default party, so that's what I always stick with. Okay, so I want to keep training him. So he has one trait left. Let's see. Do I want to make him hardier or do I want to make him do damage? I'm just going to err on the side of having him do more damage. His melee skill is already pretty good, but I'll just make it a little bit more. You know, in the end, you never regret that. Plus, it might unlock more battle disciplines. Okay, now I'm going to train her. She's my spear person for now. I think she's got a spear equipped. Let me check her. Yep, so she's going to be the spear person. She has 12 skill points left. Want to make her better with spears, for sure. Is there anything else down here? First aid, luck. I'm not sure if I was making her my lockpick person. Oh, I forgot to do traits for this guy. Okay, so there's a long list of traits. You get one every other level, and you can see there's a whole bunch of them that let you sculpt your players in quite a variety of ways. During the testing of this, I saw quite a variety of builds, which was a great deal of fun. People built their party in a lot of different ways, which is really, of course, when you design role-playing games, what you want to see. Mighty Blows increases your damage, increased endurance. So this is still might increase criticals. This is still my get more experience. This is still my tanky guy. Backstab is useful, but still, he's going to be the tank. And here it says misfit. You can pick 4 different backgrounds, 4 different goals, and so this is just a reminder that you're down here to grab your own land and make your own little weird empire in the underworld. More health. Hit points are very important. Most deaths are caused by running out. Let's see. Let's go to Miranda. She is a spear person. I'm gonna go to traits. Um, Once again, I'm gonna improve chance to hit. Chance to hit is almost always valuable. Oh, I need to give her a trait. And I'm just, or oh, I already did the trait. I'm gonna try to be brisk for this because we only got 2 hours, and I want to try to at least get to the next city. I am going to be streaming again Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time, when I will try to at least finish the demo's worth of stuff. Okay. Is this person? This person is the priest. Is doing first aid. Bit of priest skill. Intelligence increases spell energy. This person is also using bows, and that's really cheap, so I'm going to buy a level of bow. You do that enough, you also start unlocking battle disciplines, which can be useful. And maybe some first aid. That increases your endurance during a long trip. I'm going to go to traits, see if there's anything good for priesty people. Blessing focus, elemental focus, summoning focus. Quick learning, good health. I've already gotten a level of healing focus, which is good. I do a lot of blessing. So I might, but actually I'm going to get more spell energy. Spell energy is really, really good for the priest. Finally, my mage, Cordelia, will get more mage spells. Always good. Spell energy is super expensive for her. I'm going to buy a little more health. Um, I don't have my creatures don't have the best AI in the world, but they are pretty good at figuring out to target your mage. Spellcraft is good, but I also want arcane lore because that helps you learn spells and things like that. And this just generally makes spells better. And I'm going to go to traits. Cheap more spell energy. Okay, now I will save often because I'm going to get myself killed soon. So let's go look at the world map and see where I'm going. He told me to go to Fort Draco, and Fort Draco is here. Now, I have a bunch of side quests. So there's the Purge Spires, which I found. There's the Goblin Mines. There's some sort of quest for the undead infestation. And I can go down. I have a quest to take a message to the colony of Grindstone. Well, I'm playing on normal difficulty, and normal difficulty isn't usually super hard on this game. So I'm going to try to make my way to Fort Draco over here. Normally there's a bridge over this. There probably should be on the map, even though it's broken when you first reach it, and you have to open it when you get to the other side in a Dark Souls-esque manner. Anywho, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try to make it to Fort Draco, see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna walk outside, and you can see that it starts getting dark because we are in the underworld. This is one of the big changes we made in this game. To We emphasize the role of light a lot more. And to be clear, the game has lots of light sources. You know, you're not going to be walking around in the dark. Let's see, who has... I gave someone a bunch of lamps during the last stream. Where did all my lamps go? Here. Okay, here's a lamp. Here's a lamp. I think I had some candles too. I'm gonna give my lamp to my person who's first. Okay, why am I not seeing the... Oh, it's a different sort of lamp. Of course, there's 2 sorts of lamps. I'm not very proud of that design decision. In version 1.0, actually, Marianne, my business manager, Marianne, is listening to this. Marianne, could you make a note to remind me just to add more light sources early on? I just want to sprinkle a few more candles and lamps and stuff. Just to not be annoying. You can see that along the light, though, I did put some lamps, which makes it really nice, sort of spooky. And if we look up over here, we see a river that's flowing down into the depths. Oh, there's some mushrooms. I can get those, and those are food. Later in the game, they aren't very useful, but early on, they're very good for letting you save spell energy. Oh, it's a sign. What does it say? Fort Draco East, Fort Monastery West. Fort Monastery is where we're just from. You approach the bridge east of Fort Monastery. It's quite familiar to you. You already crossed it once on the way to the fort. Lots of merchant caravans have stopped here on the way to Fort Monastery and back. Their trash, abandoned campsites, and broken gear litters the ground along the road. The bridge is not empty. Several Nephilim sentries guard it. Nephilim are feline humanoids, fierce and tribal. The Empire mostly eradicated them from the surface. A few of them have returned to the surface, but most stayed in Avernum. Many Nephilim are on good terms with humans now. Others still band in tight clans and use humans as prey. If rumors are to be believed, the Nephilim in this area are in the second category. I just realized I forgot to do some shopping back in town. But I think after this fight, I'm going to have to go back and heal. So for now, I'm going to save for safety one more time. Try to get by. You begin to cross the narrow stone bridge. As you feared, the Nephil at the far end is not friendly. He raises a long blade and warns you back with a long, low growl. There are two Nephilim standing behind him. They have weapons, but they aren't drawn. They would prefer to run and fetch help. The guard says, "Back off, outsider. We of the Long-Tail clan claims these lands. Were our lands once, are again. Back or die." Oh, well, okay. Lore. I want to know more about your visions. Okay, yeah, I think there's a typo here or a bit of. Marianne, make a note. Check more about your visions. Yeah, I think that there's just a tiny bit of text that got accidentally removed, and I will put that back in. Okay, get out of my way, cat, or I will slay you. Come on, try. You think there's only us here? Try to cross this bridge, and you will see. Okay, so Oh, I discovered a location on the world map. That means I get experience. You can hear some creepy background sounds in the distance. One of the things that's unusual about us is our games do not generally have music. And one of the great things about writing games myself is that I can indulge my own preferences. I don't care for video games very much, if in music and video games very much. If I want to listen to music during game, I have Spotify. I strongly prefer for role-playing games incidental music. Incidental sounds, background sounds, creepy sounds that create the general vibe, and that's just something that I've done for 31 years. Okay, I ran off, I fired up a battle discipline, and attacked that guy. And I'm going to see if I can use all of my battle disciplines. Battle disciplines are like warrior abilities. They're sort of like spells, except they don't go off spell energy. Instead, you can use one every couple turns, and they cause fatigue. Okay, so I only have one of the starting blessings, and there are 3 really good blessings, but I'm going to have my priest do that. So now everyone gets a war blessing and can attack faster. And then my mage is going to run close and summon a pet. What did I get? Oh, did I remember to light a torch because it looked kind of dark? Okay, I just summoned my own goblin. Okay, so note, these games have lots of scripted encounters. We're low budget. We can't do fancy graphics and stuff like that. But scripting is free. Design is free. So these games have a multitude of different encounters to try to create lots of cleverness and variety. So you can see the 2 Nephilim behind him are already running for help. And Long-Tail Warrior. And I don't know what they're going to summon, but okay, I do know it's going to be lively. So other thing about me, I've written 18 full-length games and like a dozen remasters, and my brain is not big enough for all that. So I almost never remember everything in my games. I've already almost completely forgotten everything in this game. So even though I wrote this, and it is a remaster of a game I came out in 2005, so I wrote it twice, I actually have very little idea what I'm about to find. So you are going to hear me be surprised several times in the course of this stream. Someone just asked, can I turn up game sounds? Let me check settings. I think game sounds are at a norm. Yeah, game sounds are already maximum. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm kind of stuck with that. Maybe let me check OBS really quick to see if I need to increase the gain. I will increase the game a tiny bit for desktop audio. Yeah, desktop audio is set kind of low. Okay, so game sounds should be louder now. Okay, no, I'm about to fire a bow. Let me know if game sounds sound okay. Did I lose all my enemies? Oh, all my enemies are running away. Oh no, or maybe I killed something. Okay, firing a bow. Marianne, does that make the game sound better? Oh, someone just asked, will there be an Avedon 4 as well? So I've written a lot of games over the last 31 years, and one of them is the Avedon trilogy, Avedon 1, 2, and 3. And bless you so much for saying that you would like another Avedon game. Probably not. I'm old. I'm getting close to my retirement, and actually the rest of my career is very, very much planned out. So I do intend to return to Avedon for a light remaster, not a full remaster. Put in new graphics, put in new sound. I've added a lot of interface improvements that I'm going to improve. This will probably take a few years to get to. I am going to spice Avedon up a little bit, but it's not going to be a full remaster. It's just going to be Avedon, and I'll improve it. But in Avedon 4, no, I'm actually really happy with how that game is. Okay, I'm going to fire a bolt at that guy to try to take him out before he can cause too much trouble. Oh, someone has already started walking out of the cave. So that means that that I think I'm about to be in a much bigger fight. I forgot to give my warrior his own missile weapon, so he's just going to have to stand around like a nitwit. So I have to bring up my texts. Just have to stand around like a nitwit and waste his turn. But yeah, he's going to take a nice defensive position here. I don't want people clustered together too much because then enemies do have area of effect attacks. Yeah, I did forget to use my lamp. I'm going to play in the dark for a little bit because I am going to go to town soon. I want to conserve my torches. Eventually, don't worry about light sources. At the end of the game, you're going to have like 200 lamps in your pack, so don't worry about that part. You have a bow. Kill somebody. Oh, look, it's a cave. Oh, I guess he didn't have enough action points to get a position. My mage is going to move back here to... My priest and mage are going to move to safety. My goblin will come out when the enemies are close enough to aggro it. Everyone is in full position. So I am ready for the fight. Here they all come. There goes my goblin to help fight. And that's a lot of guys. Okay, we got a goblin warrior, we got a longtail warrior, we got a couple cave wolves. So let's see. This his fatigue is gone, his brutal blow is back. So he is going to take the advantage to get the first shot, and he's going to go... I should start using the keyboard shortcuts. There are keyboard shortcuts for these. Okay, getting a start on that guy. Gonna go back. This person is still fatigued, but has a goblin to help at least. Gonna just attack. Good. That looks like progress. What is my priest going to do? My priest is going to keep shooting because no one's wounded yet. Going to try to... This person's covered. Is tanked. So I'm going to start whittling away at that one. This person is almost hardly trained in bows. So the bow is just a little bit of free damage. The mage is using javelins. Javelins actually do a lot more damage early on. But we're just going to use fire. And now they act. And more are coming. Lovely. My mage is about to be able to start healing. Oh, someone asked, have you ever considered writing novels in retirement? So I am a published author. In 2005, I released a book of humor called The Pooh Bomb: True Tales of Parental Terror, released by some very kind actual publishers, which is a book of parenting humor. You can still find it used copies on Amazon for a reasonable price. And I've done a fair amount of writing for money in my lifetime, and I had opportunities to do more, and I decided not to, for the simple reason that I have a job. So it's very kind to say that. I do a lot of writing. I do a blog called The Bottom Feeder on Substack, which is worth checking out. I do a lot for that. It's a great deal of fun. But am I going to write novels? Am I going to try to write for real? No. When I am retired, my excess energy is probably going to go to writing video games, because that's what I love. That's what I do. It's a really active, vibrant art form, and I'm going to keep doing it for as long as I can. You know, I often joke that... when I retire, the day before I retire and the day after I retire are going to look almost exactly the same. I'm gonna keep writing video games for a long time because I love it. And yeah, I think that probably answered that question. But thank you very much for being so kind as to think that I am worth, making novels. Oh, my fire missed. That's unfortunate. And we got an archer there. Okay. So I'm really getting whomped here. I wish I had remembered to buy spells. I may be wasting a huge amount of this chat on a total party kill. But let's find out what's going to happen. What's going to happen first is I'm going to do something rare. My long-term testers are going to be super shocked by this unprecedented action. I'm going to use a consumable. Instead of having 500 healing potions at the end of the game, I'm going to use one now to not disappoint myself in front of all of my kind viewers. Okay, tanked. Let's see, for him, she has brutal blow. Gonna try to take out a wolf. Missed. Unfortunate, but that person can be healed and got back into the fight. We're all still blessed. What does my mage have? I think yeah, my lack. I still keep forgetting to cast my cloak, which is powerful. My summon creature is still there. Gonna keep throwing fire. Fire almost never misses. So there, we're whittling down that person. Still getting beaten up. Okay, this part is under control. My tank. I'm glad I got my tank more health. Got it. Okay, good. Progress. Progress. Healing. So at a request of a beta tester, I included the ability to heal everyone, including enemies, because then you can heal your party members who are charmed. I have almost immediately been convinced that was in fact a terrible idea. So that is going to be removed in version 1.0.1. If your charmed people end up dying, then I apologize in advance. Okay, we're getting this fight under control. And you are going to keep throwing fire. There are tons of spells and abilities, but it's still the beginning. I've been forgetting to buy things. So my roster of abilities is pretty low, and I'm going to fix that. Okay, I hope that this is not a mistake. I hope that doing this does not get me jumped by 4 other people. It looks like the shadow got accidentally removed from the base of these. Marianne, could you make a note for check shadow at base of totems? It's always embarrassing to find these issues when, you're streaming in front of a pile of people, but, it is just me. Okay, someone asks, is Nethergate in the same category as Avernum? Okay, so we wrote very early on a really innovative, really cool game called Nethergate, and then we did a full remaster of that called Nethergate Resurrection, which is available on Steam for a mere $5. And it goes on sale. It's so cheap. And someone just asked, am I going to do a full remaster of that as well? Almost undoubtedly not. Because first of all, I just recently did a big patch for Nethergate just to improve its monitor support, so you can make it look, with a little bit of tweaking, you can, even though it's a well over 20-year-old game, you can make it look nice on pretty much any monitor. But I decided not to think about doing a huge remaster of Nethergate because, let's be honest, it doesn't need it. I played it a bit. It's already, once it's scaled properly for the screen, it looks great. It's a really good game. So yeah, that's the short answer to that. That is to fully remaster Nethergate to use this modern sort of engine with the full rescaling and the nice monitor stuff and the modern graphics and stuff like that would take a lot of work and a lot of money because it's over 20 years old. And I gotta do triage. I'm at the end of my career, and there are better ways to use my time. Okay, fight is done. I have a chance to save. I'm gonna take it. So I'm gonna say long journey. Actually, the save game should be about to shop, and let's see what the long tail layer looks like. Okay, well look, it's environmental storytelling. They got nets, they got fish. I'll keep the fish. Does anyone not have a cloak? You don't have a cloak. Let's get that tiny little bit of protection on you. We don't need these things. I was considering, lots of times, I have ideas. There's lots of things that could be great bits of polish. And one of the things I considered was making fishing poles usable items that you could occasionally go fish. Okay, that's worth money. I think there's a quest to contain bags of meal somewhere. This is just worth money. Oh, more money, more money, more money. What do we got over here? It would be great to use fishing poles. I just didn't have time. Long story short. Okay, this person can finally get his long overdue bow. Does anyone else need a missile weapon? Nope, everyone's got a missile weapon. This bow can be sold. This is just money. I don't need a spoon. This is food. This is just mostly incidental clutter. And oh look, there's a trapdoor. That's fun. Let's see. Did anyone ask a question? Someone said Nethergate 2 then. Oh god, I don't have. This is a very hard thing for me to say, but I've said it a number of times. It still makes me sad. I'm at what I call the Billy Joel phase in my career, where Billy Joel, one of the great crafters of American pop music, reached a point in his career where he said, I'm not feeling making new music anymore. If I ever do feel it, I will, but probably right now I'm just gonna live my life and play my hits. I am at the Billy Joel phase of my career. My new games don't sell very well. There have been much more demand for remasters of my old game, and old games, and honestly, remastering my old games is what I want to do because I have 5 games that are like 20 years old or getting on it that are really terrific. They're just full of rock solid design and a great amount of fun, and they're just unplayable because they're so old. They were built in a different, like decades ago, for different sorts of computers. And I want to, when I enter my career, I'm an artist, and I want to send my art into the career at the end of my career being as cool and as playable as possible. And so people love their careers. I love the remasters. I love doing the remasters. So that is what I'm going to focus on. Um, and they sell pretty well. I'm still microscopic compared. There are like 80 indie games came out today, and there's like a dozen of them that are massively more successful than mine. I'm just a tiny, tiny, tiny fish in a very large pond making these oddball games. But I wanna, I'm proud of them. I want to make them look as good. So I found a trapdoor at the back of this lair, and I can't remember what's here. Oh wait, now I'm kind of remember. These big pools of slime tell me that there's probably slimes. So let's go. I saved the game. I'm going to fight him and see what happens. Oh, look, yeah, it's a bunch of slimes. So fortunately, I do have a curing spell. I'm going to move up a little bit. I'm going to use my hotkey to hit it hard. I'm going to get the jump on the slimes and try to... Okay, good. That's a good start. Yeah, we hit that guy hard. Spheres do a lot of damage. Do we have another question? It's I need Misc Item quest time to pick up everything in. Yeah, there's a couple, and by the way, there's always a couple quests where someone just says, I want to buy a whole bunch of steel bars, I want to buy a whole bunch of bags of meal, and so it makes people feel compelled to hoard all their items. I don't, as time goes on, I hate quests like that more and more. Since it's a remaster and I don't like losing content and people enjoy having the old quests, I leave them in. But, if I have to do it all over again, when I do write new material, I almost never put in quests like that. Oh, one of my characters is poison. Oh, I forgot to bless myself too. I don't think it's going to be necessary for this little fight. But let's just be conscientious. Blessed. Keep burning these guys down. Okay, we're both poisoned, but I think we'll survive. If not, and someone dies, that's okay. They'll be brought back at the beginning of town, and it'll teach them a valuable lesson. It'll teach them don't get poisoned. What are you doing? And let's search this in-webbed body. What do we find? We spend money, and we find gold ring. This can be sold in a store for extra cash. I will do that. A bronze spear. Is that better than my current spear? I currently have a crude spear. Okay, this was a profitable little side quest. I'm going to sell that. And pants. Is anyone wondering how gross, how crass for this person to be wandering the underworld without their pants? There. Now, only one of my characters needs to have their shame covered. Okay, let's see, do we have another question? Thanks for the answer. How about a step back to top-down Exile-style games? Yeah, so for ancient history, you can Google Exile Escape from the Pit, our very first game, which was done in 1994. Oh god, that's so long ago. And it had a very classic, very old school top-down, simple square look to it. And people always write me to say, hey, I want games like that. To which I respond to you, hey, no you don't. You actually, you say you want that, you don't want that. And the way I know that is because we released a pair of games called Queen's Wish and Queen's Wish 2, where I very intentionally went back to that style, partly because of aesthetics. I did want to try writing a game like that again, partly because I thought it would be fun, partly because it would enable me to port the game to the iPhone, which is something I wanted to do for fun. I wanted to have an iPhone game, and I did. Queen's Wish and Queen's Wish 2 were fun. Queen's Wish sold well. Queen's Wish still sells well. Queen's Wish was a big success. Queen's Wish 2 was a bomb. Was a gigantic radioactive ultra bomb, the biggest bomb we've ever had. So I'm talking to the blacksmith because I have a quest to sell some iron. I want some extra money. And I wrote a game with the top-down square view, and a lot of people then said, "Wow, why does this game look so old and terrible?" And, part of it is my fault, because there are problems with the graphic design of that game. If I had to do it now, I could do it better, but live and learn. But partly because, people just... what you're looking at now looks better. This game looks better than an old-school square icons top-down view. And with my limited resources and my limited graphics ability, maybe I could make it look great. I don't think I can. So, all of my remasters are going to look like this. It's all going to be isometric views. I'll improve the look. I'll get new graphics. I'll make it better. But I am done done and once I'm finished the Queen's Wish storyline, which I'm going to, I am done and dusted with that look. I liked it once. It's not the 20th century anymore. Can you teach me any priestly rituals? I would like to learn some spells. So what do I want? So I'm in the spell shop. I have 3 spells here that I can improve. I can improve my war blessing, but what I want is my protection spell. I want to load up on all of the blessings. I want to go run around to the shop and sell. I have a ton of stuff in my junk bag. Here, let's see, here's my junk bag, which is full of junk, and I'm going to sell all my junk. And now I have 478 monies. That's a lot of monies. And now I'm going to go to the mage spell shop. And I'm going to talk to Lark. Let's see, what services do you offer? I want to buy mage spells. I found a hidden magical laboratory nearby. Can you do something about it? Now, that's the Purge Spires. At first she is interested. As your description continues, she looks worried, then horrified. I can't pass magical barriers. I can't do anything there. Perhaps you should try to get help soon. Way ahead of you, Lark. Already got a quest. Someone says, I never played Queen's Wish, but Exile 3 is my favorite game of all time. So, okay, sir, so here's, I have 2 questions. First, I'm going to say, to people who haven't played Queen's Wish, please play Queen's Wish. It's really good. I mean, I have to beg for Queen's Wish too. I don't have to beg for Queen's Wish. It had a great quick starter. It's had great sales. Queen's Wish is a banger. I put just gobs and gobs of work and into creating a game with a really unique world and a really unique story and a really unique design and a really unique style. It is action role. It is role playing game. It is strategy game. It has you dealing with your family. It's an empire management sim. It's full of weird choices and weird politics. Queen's Wish: The Conqueror is a great game. Um, Please, if you're a fan of me, if you've liked my games in the past, please don't sleep on Queen's Wish. There's a big demo on our website. You will like this game. I really don't generally enjoy playing my games. I love playing Queen's Wish. It's cool. Someone also asked, or something like Blades of Exile with self-contained episodes. So someone is asking, oh, someone says they enjoyed Queen's Wish 2 for the most part. Isn't that in the end the most you can hope for to enjoy a 50-hour game? For the most part. All I ever ask is that you enjoy it for the most part. If you pay $20 for a game, you only play it 5 hours, and then you decide to move on with your life, but you had fun in those 5 hours, I feel I have a warm feeling. I feel like if your money's worth, go with God. Honestly, I'm old. I don't have that much time. Most of my I don't finish. I very rarely play finish games. If I pay $20 for a game, I play it for 5 hours. I have fun. I make my peace with it. I move on with my life. I'm satisfied. I'm playing Silksong now. I'm not going to finish that game. It's going to drive me nuts. But it's $20. I played it for 7 hours. I've had a really good time so far. I haven't gotten to the frustrating part yet. If I never played it again, satisfied. Okay, spells. And I'm going to switch to my mage. Hello, Cordelia. Okay, what do we need? So I'm not going. Oh my god, there's so many important spells. I think I'm just about to blow all my cash because the mage, these are the key spells. Daze, super important. Haste, super important. Pool of Fire is borderline. To make Pool of Fire good, you have to upgrade it once. And I mean, okay, it's still okay conditionally okay. There are times when Pool of Fire is super good in its basic level, but it has its issues. But I want to show it off. I want to show off the environmental damage effect, so I'm going to get that. Don't need anything else. Everyone is healed. Don't forget I'm here to help stay in the light. This is one of those weird little limitations. I run out of steam. I'm 90. I have help. I have freelance artists. My wife is invaluable. I really couldn't do it without her. But for design, for dialogue, for programming, all me, which is exhausting. Like running one of these whole things on a clock is exhausting. So the best stuff always ends up at the beginning because 6 months of writing this stuff I get tired. So I added a lot of cool slang, a lot of little cool Avernum lore and touches in this. And if I had to do it all over again, I would have actually sat down and wrote a bunch of Avernum slang and peppered it consistently through the game to create a feel. Didn't think to do it until right this moment. It's not too late. In Avernum 5, I'm going to do that. I'm going to write a bunch of slang in advance to create sort of a consistent feel in the dialogue and the idioms of the caves. Too late now, so all of this cute little slang is only in the early part of the game. What do you do? Oh, message to Fort Draco. Something got added to the job board since my last quest. I'll take that. That's easy experience for the next stream. Gonna go back to Fort Draco to the journey because I have 80 minutes to make it to Fort Draco. Someone said, someone says, please make the third Queen's Wish game to find out what her wish ends up being. If you've played Queen's Wish, you already know what all of her wishes are. I don't really point out, but in Queen Sharon's dialogue, she has already said everything she wants. And now the question in the end of the game is, will she get it? I am going to finish the Queen's Wish story soon. That is like the literal next thing. Once Avernum 4 is cleaned up and the iPad version is up, finishing the Queen's Wish storyline is the last thing on my list. That will get done, and you heard it here first. That's the goal. Back to the road. Okay, now I'm going to indulge myself in a lamp. Woohoo! We can see. And, you know, if I walk down here, okay, I don't want to go too far because I'm going to get, oh, yeah, rats. I'm just going to stay away from that nonsense. So as you can see, this is a wide, for the second trilogy, this is a wide open world. There's no distinction between towns and outdoors for this game. And the advantage of that in this game is that it is really possible to get lost in this world. This is a nation underground. You spend the entire game in the underworld, and I want you to feel dwarfed by it. You know, in Avernum 1 through 3, the outdoors gives you a sort of bird's eye view, so you can see a vast amount of the countryside at once, and that was really cool, and it worked for that story. But for this, I wanted to do, for these games, I want to do a different thing. I want you to feel small, like a small spelunker trapped and lost in this vast network of caves. And you know, I keep saying it, but this is the basic idea. In the Avernum 1 through 3, you can't ever get lost in the underworld. In these games, I want you to feel like at any moment you could get lost. Oh, last question for me. How do you pronounce Krijan? I just said it. Krijan, you know, there's a character named Marianne in Avernum 2 and 3, Marinn. There's a Krijan province in Avernum 3, and yeah, it's named. My wife is a proud Hungarian, and that is a Hungarian name. Marianne just typed in chat Krijan. No, Marianne, that's not how you say. You say Kree hyphen and then Zhan. That is how you say your name's phonetic. That is how you type your name phonetically. You just typed Krijan, and nobody wants that. Okay. Oh, yep. So more of the Longtail clan is here. Longtail Hunter. Let's see. Yeah, they're patrolling. So you see, they just came down from here, and they just came down from here, and it's a little patrol that I'm gonna have to sneak by. That's a boring little bit of ground. Oh well, what can you do? It's a big world. But once again, I got the drop on them. So I'm gonna try to take down one fast. No, this is a little fight. I don't think I'm gonna need blessing for this. You know, this is the point. We're about to just take a long trip. Actually, if memory serves, I think there's a rest point coming up soon. Oh, did you notice that? One of the archers was smart enough, looked around and said, this person's casting spells and wearing cloth. Let's start whittling this person down. You don't need to buy your mages a lot of health, but you know, strategy tip for people, train your mages. Give your mages health. You will need it. Keep working down that archer. Unfortunate. And I just wasted the energy to give you. I just wasted the energy to give you a chance to hit, and you're a failure, an absolute failure. Dead. Okay. Is there another question? Okay. Let's rush him and hope that we don't get jumped. I don't think I'm going to heal yet because there is first aid. This has a first aid system where at the end of a fight, you are able to recover a percentage of your health and energy based on how much killing you did. and how much first aid skill you have. So I end the combat, and if I walk a little bit, it should... Okay, no, it didn't say first aid. Okay, oh, so this is blocked with rubble. This is blocked with rubble. Where did they come from, then? Why were they just waiting? Oh, they were just hiding in that little cave. Okay, so a little rat over there. Let's see. Sometimes the wildlife attacks you, and sometimes not. Okay. Yeah, these are just nice rats. They found a little place that's just like where there was some sort of, this is kind of just a general mess. I don't know what that's supposed to convey. Oh, someone asked. I guess a Blade style game where we can add episodes isn't possible. So ancient Spyro software history. In the 20th century, we wrote a game called... Oh, this looks like a friendly settlement. Good. Called Blades of Exile, and it was a scenario creation kit, which at the time was really groundbreaking and a huge success. And many people made adventures in the Exile world using this simple, weird little adventure creation system that I made. I designed it so, okay, this is just text saying, hey, you just found a friendly camp. And I designed this so that anyone could use it really easily and quickly. People made 1 million scenarios. It was a great success. A few years later, I made Blades of Avernum, which was Blades of Exile, but it used a more complicated scripting engine to create more complicated adventures. And the problem was that you needed to be able to program to use it. But by that point, my games had become so complicated that I needed a really complicated system to be able to make the sort of adventures I wanted to make. And that game did very poorly. And there were very few scenarios with it, to a large extent because, as I said, it was just too complicated to make the sort of games I was making. So, and am I going to do it again? No, I'm not. That's just, it's making an adventure creation system like that, taking my adventure creation tools and making them usable and understandable by anyone is a gigantic job. Oh, it's so much time and so much work, and it just makes me feel tired just thinking about it. It's just not what I do, and I don't have time left in my career with all the other stuff I want to do. So that, as much as I hate letting good work go into the past, I got it. It's triage. That's all I can say. I just don't have time. Mra, you meet Mra, the head of this small band of Nephilim. He is quite old. Note I've pronounced Nephilim like 3 different ways during the stream. It's Nephilim. He is quite old, and patches of his hair are long missing. However, he has maintained much of his strength and skill, and he looks at you calmly in the eyes as he speaks. Mra, welcome, traveler, to the clan of Mra. This is a hard time, for us. Marianne, could you make a note? Mra, hard time. That's a typo. That comma shouldn't be there. Okay, it's kind of like, it's okay if you say it allowed to put a little bit of a pause there, so it's okay phonetically. It just sits wrong with me as prose. The Longtail clan has strength here and commands us not to aid your kind. I cannot bring their wrath upon my people. You must go soon. This is unfortunate. Mra has provided supplies and a place to rest for many of Avernum travelers in the past. I need trade and a place to rest. Mra shakes his head. The Longtails tell us clear. If I help you, they will hunt my kin. As long as their chief lives and they have power here, this risk I will not take. Perhaps I could have a quick rest here if I paid? Mra licks his lips and considers it. His warriors do a quick search for Longtail spies. When they find none, he said, all right, as long as you're quick about it. You grab a quick nap in one of the stone huts. Okay, so now we're healed. Yeah, so here we're bloop. So this is new. I added a lot of new stuff in Avernum for Greed and Glory just for convenience. Like I added 1 billion intermediate resting points just because a lot of the time traveling back to town to rest is just a hassle. So I looked for any place where it was too long a stretch without a place to rest and added a bunch just as a little convenience because everyone has 1 million unplayed games in their Steam library. I don't want to waste anyone's time because I want you to get the maximum value from the 5 hours of time you spend playing this before you go play Blatro. Let's see, is there another question? Oh yeah, yes, there were 2 Blades games. There were 2 adventure creation kits, and if you didn't if you don't remember Blades of Avernum, that's because you didn't play it, but that's okay because nobody else did either. Yeah, we had a really... Oh, I'm gonna try to pick this lock. Okay. Oh, weird. Yeah, yeah, it's very uneven about marking stuff. Marianne, make a note, items not property in Mra's camp. This is kind of weird and inconsistent, and I'm just going to make these so you can take them because Mra likes you. Mra thinks you're cool, and if you pick the lock, you should get a little reward. This is a difficult lock, lock difficulty 10, so I'm just going to leave that alone. Sorry for absentmindedly clicking my tongue. I hope I didn't deafen anybody. Okay, so now we are rested, and so now we can begin the journey through Longtail Lands. So here's the axis. This is where we are. We're by Morah. So I can go over here. Actually, I don't know where to go, so I'm going to talk to Morah again. You're not allowed to tell me more about the Longtail clan. So there's something I want to find. I must protect my clan. Tell me more about the Longtail clan. Let's see. Their leader is Croth. They took a checkpoint from Avernum. What if I were to kill Croth? That would be good. Brave thing. I would be in near debt, but you would have to reach his camp. No, we just got a quest. The gate is guarded by several explorers. Is there a way to crosseth besides through the checkpoint? Ra thinks for all. Then he smiles and nods. He sends warriors to make sure no Longtail spies are watching. No Avernum's bites have been through here for a while. If I do not turn to you for help, when will I get another chance? Here, take this. He removes a key from his pouch and hands it to you. East by the river. This unlocks the door. The door leads to our supplies. The tunnel beyond. It may help you. Thank you. Okay. So the last time I played this for testing, I attacked the gates full on. Oh, I've rested, so I've lost. Yeah, I've got to add more light sources. This is a little bit silly. Okay, you got a lamp. So I'm going to the east, and we see here's a bridge, and the bridge. This is the aforementioned bridge to Fort Draco. It has been closed, but I can see a control over here. That's intriguing. I won't get there here in this. If I get here in the stream, I will treat myself by opening up this bridge. But for now, I was told to go down here. Nice little fungi forest here. A lot of new graphics in this game. A lot of them I really like. Here's a door. Boom! Use a key to unlock the door. You open the door. Okay, I don't like that redundant text. I think that's inelegant. Is there anything hiding here? Nope. I'm not going to change it, though. What do we got here? Okay, crystals are nice. Why didn't I add more light sources to the early game? Bandages are good. Healing potions are great. So that all was good. That was all worth the trouble. This is full of rocks. Oh, look, I found a sneaky little. I found a hidden thing. Why didn't there's a digging noise and it didn't play? Marianne, could you make a note? Check digging noise. I just got some free money, but there's supposed to be a little digging noise when you dig up one of those caches, and for some reason it didn't play. I want to double check to make sure it played. So I'm about to go to the lower caves and try to sneak past the gate. I could show you the really guarded Longtail clan gate, but I'm not gonna. You know, you can. It's in the demo or it's in the game. You should buy the game. It's a really good game. Let's see. Oh, it looks like there's wall. There's fish. I am approaching a settlement. Oh, there's a stairway. So this is an old ruin. Probably should put a little rubble around here to mark a ruin, but you know what can you do? Get some more food. Get some more food. Lots of fish. Oh, okay. So there's a pillar here by chains and blood. Then here's some meat and let's see what all is here actually, and an axe and a bowl. So this is gruesome. I think they've been preparing more meat here than just fish. Let's go up the stairs, see what we find. Okay. So now this is definitely a settlement. What's in here? Oh, money. There's spiritual herbs. There's food. This is starting to seem like a real place. Chances it. Let's pick a lock. Let's open the door. Okay. So I'm gonna walk out and see what. Oh boy. There's the chief. There's Crosseth. There's his consorts. So if I go this way, I'm gonna be in a fight. Now I have to decide. Right now my mission's to go to Fort Draco. I'm gonna. In my 3 streams, there's kind of a point I want to get to, so I'm not going to do anything. The truth is, I'm getting myself in trouble here because I'm only level 3, and stuff ahead is low level. Eventually, I'm going to have to farm some experience, but for now, I'm just going to try to finish my journey. Okay, bats are harder to hit. Bats are only a 30% hit chance, and this is a static bat. I don't know what that means. Can't be good. But I'm going to bless everyone. Worst comes to worst, I can run back to Morar's lair. And what I'm going to do, let's see, are there more questions? And I'm going to use one of my new spells for the first time. So what do I got? I've got haste, which is really powerful. I'm going to bind my... There's days if I get overwhelmed. But I'm going to cast Make a Pool of Fire, because these monsters are dumb and they're about to rush us. And when they do, I want to have to run through a lot of fire. So you see, these now have burning status. This means they are on fire. Every one of their turns, as long as they are burning, they will take damage. Okay. So I'm going to use my battle disciplines. So, first let's switch back to our melee weapon. I just used a hotkey. You can take some damage. Did someone... What happened here? Someone got slowed. Oh, that's what static bats do. They slow you down. So this person missed a turn. Unfortunate, but that's okay. The bats can just sort of happily be on fire. Nobody needs healing yet. Just going to burn an arrow. Not that there actually are arrows. And we're going to try to just take these guys out. Okay. So now both of my frontline guys are slowed, which means we want to... Because I'm curious what... I'm going to right-click for information. These are level 4. We can see a bunch of their resistances, and we can see that they are on fire. So... Okay, so this person did not lose a turn this time. Oh my god, this person's out of the fire, so I'm going to work on bat, not a person, a bat. Actually, I'm going to switch to my melee weapon. Got a good, strong, lucky hit. That's the advantage of spears. I'm going to play it safe and keep this person topped off. Since there's only 2 bats left, I'm not going to haste my party yet. I'm going to wait for a real fight. Oh, good. I panicked a bat. Yeah, morale is important in this game. Some enemies, if you hit them enough, they will run away, and that's good because they're not fighting you. But the position they end up in can be really inconvenient. It may enable them to alert other characters. Them running away might also lure you into a trap. So my mage is going to try to kill the bat with a dagger. Didn't work. That's okay. The fire finished. That looks like jewelry. Let's get and see what we got. That's a silver necklace. Money goes in the gem bag. I'm going to stop gathering every bit of food I find. Oh, there's another bat. Okay, so this one should be quick. We're just going to rush it and try to take it down without taking damage because we still have a bit of a journey ahead of us. Oh, there's another bat. That person just going to get in position. This person's going to fling some fire. Slowed again, but that's okay. Didn't lose a turn. Attack, attack, attack. Javelin. Did the job. Get nothing available of interest. Sneak, sneak, sneak. Okay, we have cleared our way through the bats. Oh, and there's another ladder. So right now I've already learned I am below the Nephil base, and I'm going to need to emerge eventually. So let's see what's up here. Okay, this is stuff. That's a Nephil spirit. So there's a spellcaster, but there's a temple and a few Nephilim. So I'm in the base, but I'm going to try to emerge now. Run up. Try to... Just as a strategy rule, it is almost always a good idea to eliminate characters as quickly as possible. So what has happened? The Spiritist has summoned a snack. I think now it might be a good time to invest. I'm going to load in some of my spells into quick use slots. This battle might be worth investing a bless. So I'm going to move up so there's plenty of room for my mage to come up. Do I want protection? It's almost always better to lean on damage. I'm going to make everyone do more damage. And my mage is going to... Burning is good, although it eats a lot of energy, but I could do a lot of damage to a lot of folks. I can't summon something because they can't get to the front. Right now, I'm just going to... I'm going to make fire. Okay, That will be some nice area effect damage on everybody. And now we start getting beaten up because these guys are higher level. I wonder where's the spirit is. I wonder what level the spirit is. Level 6. Yeah, I'm already finding myself getting weirdly outranked here. Oh wait, are there two? There's two spellcasters. At least one of them was kind enough to engage us because they're Nephilim and they're bold. So these guys are getting fast enough to outspeed some of my characters. I'm going to start some healing. Actually, I'm going to take a very brief moment and I'm going to stop and start recording again because I like doing my chats on YouTube in 2 1-hour blocks. So I'm going to pause just for a second to stop recording and restart, and I'll have a quick introduction, and then we'll go back to this battle.